Floss Tube. I'm Jessie. Welcome to my channel, Bobo Stitching Quilt. This is a channel primarily about cross stitching. Every once in a while, though, we'll throw in a quilt. If you are returning, welcome back. Thank you so much for stopping by again. I appreciate it. If you are new and this is the first time you're visiting with me, thank you for taking a chance and on a new floss tuber. And I know that time is precious these days, and so hopefully all of us, new and returning, will have a good time for these next few minutes. So what is happening? Not a whole lot really, although I guess some of it is pretty exciting. It's been a couple of weeks since my last video. I am filming this on Monday, October 4th, although I think it won't get uploaded until Tuesday, so you may be seeing this in a couple of days. But my typical day is on Sundays, but I did have a pretty exciting update, I think. So my husband is a big American football fan, and actually he likes a lot of sports, but a huge American football fan. And we have been on a waiting list to become season ticket holders for our city's team for several, actually I think 7 years. We have been on that waiting list, and this year, for various reasons, I am sure, we were able to get tickets, and it was actually really kind of funny because we got what we expected, which was the bad seats, right? So we have these giant stadiums, and so we thought we would be in the top, which we were. Those are the seats that we originally got, but as a result of COVID, we're assuming as a result of COVID, all of a sudden, we were able to, they weren't sure if fans would be allowed to come and see the games live, which is fair, and we were okay with that. We were like, well, we'd still like to go ahead and become subscribers, and hopefully we'll be able to come next year in the 2021 season. And so we went ahead and signed up and did the payments that we were required to do, and all that good stuff. And then we found out that they are going to allow some fans in, and then they gave us some seat options at that stage. And then it turned out that we actually were able to move down. So I think us being able to become subscribers in August, I think is when we were notified, was because of COVID. And then just regular, like, people just not renewing their tickets, right? Because that happens in general. And because every year my number would go up, we would go up like about 3,000 spots. And so we knew that we would have some movement. But we were able to get really good seats. And although I think some of it is COVID, honestly, being a Houston sports fan is not for the faint of heart. Our teams are not very... Like, I shouldn't say that, because obviously the Astros won the World Series, and that's our baseball team, and they won the World Series, but then there's a cloud among that because there was some cheating allegations. I guess I don't know, they're not allegations anymore, but there was some cheating possibility going on there. And although, so it's hard to be a Houston area sports fan, just saying. So the team has not been doing very well this year. So we were able to move down. So I'm going to insert a picture here from where we were at the game yesterday and where our seats were, or where our seats are for the season. So right here. My husband loves these seats. He's so happy. We were not happy with the game because the team lost. But it's but we are really excited about the seats, and so and I'm really happy for him. I'm gonna let you know that, like, before I started dating him and everything, like, I am definitely one of those, like, people who was in the sports ball, go local sports team, move ball from one end to the other. Like, I don't, I'm not a sports fan. I did grow up in Texas, and so for anyone who is not from Texas or doesn't know anything about Texas, we are required to understand the game of football, and it's mandatory. And so I understand the game, the rules. I can watch it. I can, my dad was a really big fan, and so, but in general, me personally, like, I couldn't tell you the names of players, what the teams were doing, or anything like that. So, but I'm really happy for him, and it's something we can do together. But I broke the ABC rule. I don't know what I was thinking. I thought maybe they won't let me bring it in or whatever, and so I didn't bring any cross stitching with me, which was just silly because there was so much downtime, because you come in basically like an hour and a half before the game starts, and then there's like halftime, and there actually is quite a lot of sitting around. And so I was like, oh, so I'm going to bring it with me next week. We'll see if they'll let me in. I don't actually have any thread cutters that are not scissors, so I'm going to bring one of my dull point scissors. It's not really super dull, but it's not like, you're not going to stab, well, you could, but you know what I mean. Like, you have to like really want to do it. But I have some that have a rounded tip. I'm going to see if they're going to let me bring it in. I did order some from the Fat Quarter Shop. Let's see if they arrive on time. So we'll see. Anyways, with that, I am going to start talking about cross stitching, because who cares about football? Well, you might. My husband does. Don't say I tonight. But I worked on, I think, 5 projects this week, or these past 2 weeks. So not huge amounts of time. So I'm going to start with my big. I did not work on Cinderella, for those following along. I did not work on Cinderella at all these past 2 weeks. I've completely shifted my focus, and because I'm going to try to get some things done. And so because of that, shifted my focus. So, but first I did work on Sailor Moon Squad. Sorry, get my notebook out so I can talk about my various notes. So I did work on Sailor Moon Squad, which is my full coverage piece, and that is by Tilton Crafts. So I'm going to go ahead and insert a photo here of what it will look like when it's done, and what it looked like the last time you saw it. So right here. And this is where we are now. So the last time you saw it, we were at 1% complete, and we are now currently at 1.4% complete. I put in about 700 stitches into this. I am not sure you can even see the difference. Maybe you do when I'm actually, I'm actually thinking about, I'm going to try, maybe I'll do a time lapse. I think I'm still early enough in doing this project that maybe I'll start like a little album collection and do like a time lapse of like, has like each percent, so that you can see like the progression of it. Maybe that will be a pretty interesting video. I don't know. Sometimes I watch the time lapse videos and I think, ooh, that's cool. Anyways, so what happened with this one? I worked on it for 1 day, effectively. I worked on it all day. It was an all day, like, actually 2 days. I think it was 2 whole days on a weekend, and I might be making that. I don't put in a lot of stitches in that course of a day. Like when it must have been at least 2 days, because it ends up being around 300 stitches all day. Now, I don't just sit, like, it's not like, when I say all day, I'm not like sitting and stitching for like 12 hours, right? Like, it's like I'm doing other things. I'm doing chores around the house. I'm getting up, eating, cooking, taking naps, life. So it's not all day, but you're going to see the difference when I show you another piece that I did the same thing, where I worked on it all day, and how much more I can get done than this. Now, this is on 25 count Lugana full cross. I think I've talked about this before, but I do find this a little difficult to see. I don't care about the backs. I'm just going to let you know, when I work on full coverage, I don't care what my back looks like. You're not going to see it. I don't care. I only really focus about how I stitch on my backs when it's not full coverage and it's linen, and you might be able to see what's going on behind it. But otherwise, I don't really care about, carrying, traveling. It all gets covered, But that being said, though, I usually, because I'm doing this 1/1. Oh, I forgot to say that I'm doing this 1/1. Because I'm doing it 1/1, I can't loop start, right? So you usually need 2 threads to be able to do it loop start. And because it's 25 count, it's really small. I find the pin cinch to be annoying. Not annoying. It's just, for me, it's difficult. I have a hard time splitting the thread. So I don't like doing a pin stitch. And so I just thread it under. I just thread it under as I stitch. And for the most part, that's fine. Like, I don't worry about it. But I was in I can't remember which Facebook group it was. I want to say it was Full Coverage Fanatics. But someone asked about that. And someone posted a video about how to do a loop start with one thread. And I was like, huh, that's interesting. I wonder if I can do that. So I tried it this past weekend. And I have to say, I'm gonna link the video below. I did save it so that I could share it with y'all. It's not too bad. And it's not quite on, like, you know, there is, you'll see the video, there's like a little bit of a thread, like a tail, because you go up one hole, you come back down the same hole to create the loop, and then you stitch up and you loop back down over. And honestly, I find that they don't move. Like, it's like, it really is like a loop start, except even with the tail there, I thought, oh, will the tail, like, loosen up or whatever? It really doesn't. Like, it seems to actually stick. It does ultimately get stitched over as you stitch along, assuming that it's not like an isolated stitch. And so yeah, I actually didn't mind it so much. You do end up on those starts with the loop, with it's end up being 3 threads, right, of floss, as opposed to just the 2 with the single X's, right? And I was really mindful of that because I feel like you can see, you know, and I was like, I can't find it. Like, honestly, like, this is highly heavy, confetti heavy, which is another reason why I stitched so low on it. And so I have a loop start on this multiple places, at least 4 or 5. And I know which square I was working in, that the squares I was working in, I can't find them. So, it's an option. I found it a lot easier for a start than having to thread under on a start. You know, I still am able to thread my needle through for when I finish. I'm not doing any kind of pinning or anything like that. Or the other thing I do is that I just like move, so you actually can, like, you can see it. Like, sometimes what I do is I'll, like, in the thread, like, a couple of things over. Like, I'll move it, like, I'll, like, push it through the front, and then I'll end up stitching over it. So there's, like, so there may be, like, a little bit of a hanging, like, I'll have a little bit hanging up here, and then I'll stitch over it, and then anchor it down that way. Anyways, I'm not a pro at this. Like, there are obviously tons of floss tubers out there who are much better at cross stitching than I am, who can probably give you a lot better tutorials. But as a regular person trying new things, trying to learn from how other people's experiences, I find it to be, that little loop start actually worked really well, and I liked it. I probably will continue to do that for this 1/1 start. So anyways, so that's it on Sailor Moon Squad. Next, I guess I always go from least to most is what I usually do, right? I did start Caterpillar's cross stitch Hello Dear. So, not Hello Dear, that's a lie. Hello Pumpkin. So I'm going to insert a picture here of what it will look like when it's complete. Okay. I don't have a what it looked like before because it's a new start for me. And so, so this is Hello Pumpkin. And this is as far as I got, not very far. I was plagued by frog as soon as I started. Like, I was like, what's going on? Like, I could not for the life of me figure out why my brain was not working. I had to frog these little leaves. I'm not even kidding, 3 times. So, anyone out there who's feeling like why things are happening, I could not count those little leaves for the life of me. I don't know what was going on. I just kept missing stitches and things like that. Like, not stitches, I just like kept moving it in the wrong place. So anyways, I wanted to finish the fox, and that didn't happen. This is as far as I got. So this is, I bought the full kit from Caterpillar. So it is, this is a even weave. I think it's a 28 count even weave. Whatever their even weave is. I think it's 28. And I'm doing this 2/2 with the call for DMC. And it's a, I like it. I mean, obviously I like it. I do have Hello Dear, which is probably why I mentioned it. I'm obviously not doing Hello Pumpkin has a stitch along because it's done and it's a full complete pattern. I did start it on the autumn equinox, so the first day of fall, and so I was like, it's the first day of fall, I should do something autumny. I thought about whether or not I wanted to go, so Hello Dear has started. The first clue was released recently, and I was trying to decide if I also wanted to continue to do it, and honestly I feel like I have a lot of whips right now, and so I'm kind of, I might change my mind. Who knows? Like, as the releases keep coming and I'm seeing how cute they are and everything, I might be like, no, I really want to go ahead and start Hello Dear. But I actually kind of like, I'm kind of digging the idea of doing this during the season, right? Like, so the first day of fall was on September, whatever. I can probably tell you because I wrote down the date that I started it. So the first day of fall was September 22nd. So I started it then, and kind of like the idea of working on it to finish it by the winter solstice, and then starting Hello Dear for the winter solstice, since these are seasonal pieces as opposed to holiday pieces. I kind of like the idea of working on Hello Pumpkin during the official fall season, even though it gets cold and whatever, and then working on Hello Dear during the official winter season. I don't know if it's official, but you know. So anyway, so that's my thought process. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Hello Pumpkin is not high on my priority of things to work on, but it is. But I did want to start it, so it was fun. I do like it. The pattern's really easy to read. Don't let my frogging and my inability to count on one day of the year. Actually, it's more than one day. I frog a lot. I have a lot of miscounts. I don't know why. But weirdly enough, let's knock on wood on this one, I have not had the frog Sailor Moon squad. I'm not gonna lie. Those stitches are so small. I'm probably gonna be like, it's fine. Who's gonna tell? So confetti heavy. Who's gonna tell if it's a mistake? That's how I think about it. Anyways, so there's that. Next is another new start, as you may recall from my haul from last time. I purchased Madame Chantilly's Pumpkin Thieves. I do have a proper picture of what it will look like when it's done, but here it is. So going forward, I'll probably insert the pictures, but this is what it will look like when it's done. I couldn't help myself. I couldn't wait to start working on this, so of course there is a start, and this is how far I got. I think I made some extraordinarily really great progress on it. I love it. And so this is what I worked on all day. Also one day, now this is not one day's worth of work, so just to be fair, but I did work on this all day on one of the other weekends last weekend. And just by comparison, for how many stitches I put into Sailor Moon Squad, I finished this entire front of the air balloon on that day, with the exception of this very back line. So it's just, of course it's one color, and even though I'm counting and everything like that, it's just that, it's just a huge difference. And so I'm super excited about this. It is not slow stitching, but it's not fast stitching. When I first started, I'm like, I'm going to finish it. I'm going to be able to do this. It'll be ready. I can FFO about Halloween, and then I can work on my other Halloween. And it's actually a lot bigger. I don't know why stitch counts when I hear stitch sizes. I don't know. It means nothing to me. I don't know what that means. If there's not like a finish size, like if on a 14 count it will be finished as a 9x12, I really have no idea what that means in terms of size. Like when it's like 300 by 150, I have no idea what that means. I might be the only one, but I'm sure I could probably figure it out if I really wanted to, but I don't. I just don't. Anyway, so this is where I got. I'm really excited. I do hope it will pick up some pace, and because I really would like to get this done by Halloween. So that's going to be my goal. By Halloween, I'm going to want to try to finish Pumpkin Thieves. But I love it. I love how it's looking. I think it looks really good. So I am doing this. This is 32 count Picture Disc Plus Nocturne. I'm doing this 2/2. And with the called for DMC, and really enjoying it, really happy with it. Highly recommend this. It makes me so happy. I look at the picture, I'm working on it. It just makes me happy. We watched Halloween Town last night, and I'm working on it during Halloween Town. I was like, oh, Pumpkin Thieves. Anyways, so really excited about that. So those were my 2 new starts. So yeah, new starts. Who am I? Starts. I did next is Frosted Pumpkins Chinese Zodiac. So I'll go ahead and insert a picture here of what it will look like when it is, what it's supposed to look like when it's done for the September part, and where it was the last time you saw it. So here it is. And this is where we are. So you can see that. So I'm completely caught up, which is, again, amazing. Another reason why I think I didn't want to do Hello Dear is because, you know, I already have this one. I already feel kind of like pressured to keep up. I don't know why. It's not a big deal, right? It's your cross stitching. Who cares if you finish with the stitch along or not? But still, there's pressure. I don't know why. So, I'm loving it. I have an idea for the FFO. I'm not going to share because I don't know if it's going to work, and I don't want to like jinx it if it doesn't work. I have a really super cute idea for the FFO, so I'm looking forward to it. And so, I don't know if you recall, but the last time we talked about this, I had pointed out somewhere about, like, I didn't know why, but this flower right here, was not lining up against the lantern and this flower in terms of count. I couldn't figure it out. I was like, I counted everything. It drove me crazy because I had convinced myself somehow that I had done the medallion off by a stitch somewhere, like it was pushed over like the side, and I was just like, and I could never find it. I was like, I don't understand, like where I missed it or anything along that lines. And I had counted. And then everything over here, the animals next to the border, all counted out correctly too, because I thought, oh, maybe I accidentally stitched over, like one of the animals I stitched over or something. And I did all that counting, and I couldn't figure out where the mistake happened. Well, of course, as I'm filling in the fans and the flowers and everything on this side, I did notice the same thing, that everything was just off by a stitch. And again, I could not figure it out. All the animals were lining up with the border, but they weren't lining up against the medallion. And I was just like, I don't get it. I figured it out, y'all. I figured it out. You made me very proud of me. The mouse is lined up to the medallion. However, the top of this is 1 stitch over. So my whole border is just 1 stitch over. And because sometimes I use the medallion as my starting point to count out to find the location of whatever flower or whatever, or the animal. And sometimes I use the animals to count over, right? When I started the snake, I counted over from the dragon. I didn't count over from the medallion. And so that's why It's correct around the border, but not necessarily around the medallion. Figured it out. I don't care. There's absolutely no way I'm going to fix that. So it's just going to be what it's going to be. I'm hoping that it's going to end up being that I just know that you and me in confession time with this error, we're the only people who are going to know that error exists in there, and that and I'll make some adjustments if I need to for this last part. If I feel like there's some dead space, I'll add a flower or something. Like, I actually thought there was a lot of space between the bunny and the medallion here in comparison to the rest of the flowers and medallions. Maybe I'll just put one of those little 5 flower stitches right there or something to just like fill in the hole if I feel that way. But honestly, I don't think I care. So anyways, that's Chinese Zodiac. In quilting, it is measure twice, cut once is the rule. Maybe in cross stitching, count more than once. I count everything multiple times before I assume that it's right. Like, I'm counting. I don't grid. Maybe I should just grid more. I only grid when I feel like I'm dealing with complicated stitching. Like Sailor Moon, I've gridded that because it's a lot of confetti. But we'll see. If it, I do this for fun. As long as I'm happy, that's what matters. Anyways. Alright. Last but certainly not least, I think that's all the pieces I've worked on is Lindy Stitches, Emily's House. So I'm going to go ahead and insert a picture here of what it will look like when it's done and how it was the last time you saw it. And I am super, super excited. This has turned into my focus piece for the most part. This past couple of weeks, I've been focused on it a lot. I think I've gotten quite a bit done. So here we are. And I've added a couple more flowers into the border. I've started doing the wording. So you have SPE down there. And I've been filling in the green. Green takes forever. And so this is where I'm doing that one stitch, one thread of, I'm doing 3 strands every night, and I'm doing this 1/2 on 36 count picture disc plus earthen. So that's what I'm doing this on, and I think it looks great. Honestly, I'm really, really happy with it. It's just taking a while. So I do 3 strands of floss every night on it on the grass, and when I'm working on it, I'm just continuing on the various motifs of it. I love it. My goal is to finish this month. It is officially October. The goal was to have it done by the end of this month. So this will probably end up just turning into my focus piece for right now. So it could very well be that in the next video there'll only be an Emily's House update, because I really do want to finish it. I'm actually not that close to finishing. Because I bought the pattern before Stephanie redid her patterns to work better with Pattern Keeper. My Pattern Keeper is not 100% accurate, and it's tracking in the percentage done for Emily's House, but it says I'm at about 64% complete. So I actually got quite a bit that I need to do, but I'm hoping that I feel like it stitches pretty quickly, and so especially when I have these, now that I'm in the color blob, so hopefully I'll get it done by the end of the month. But this is going to end up being my focus piece for October. I'll probably only move to another piece if I get actually, that's a lie. Why am I saying that? Because I'm going to work on Pumpkin Thieves. Let's be real, I'm going to work on Pumpkin Thieves because that makes me so happy. So does Emily's House. Emily's House makes me really happy too. Those are probably going to be the 2 things I work on these next couple of weeks. I want to get both of them finished, so they're going to be my focuses. Anyways, that's it. That's all I got in terms of a stitchy update. So nothing too, nothing too super exciting, but at the same time, it's exciting to me, and that's what matters, right? Haul. Let's get to haul. I don't have my haul organized at all. So let me pull some things out of my bag. Excuse the wrinkly doos. I'm not going to show you my floss or anything like that. That's just silly. So I think I mentioned that I had dachshunds. So I had 3 dogs, Hans, Greta, and Ronnie. If I can find a picture, I'll insert it here. But I might not have had I might not. But if I do, right here. And they have all crossed the Rainbow Bridge. I miss them very much. And but they were all 2 of them were purebred dachshunds, and one of them was what we think was a Dorgie, a dachshund corgi mix. And we have adopted 2 new girls since they crossed the bridge. And one of them is a Jack Schrund, which is a dachshund Jack Russell mix. And so I love dachshunds. We had one when I was a child. His name was Slinky. And and of course I adopted my 3 when I was like 25, and I had them for about 15 years. The oldest one I had for 15 years, and so I love them. So anyways, with that, I knew as soon as I saw them that I was going to have to do what I've been calling the Weiner series from Plum Street Samplers. And I had been kind of piecemealing them, but I finally just took the plunge and I purchased every single one of them. And so I collected them all in one big do, so they're all together. I think I have all of them now, but I'm not 100% sure, but I think I have all of them now. And so this is where we are. So I have spring rolls, super cute. There is yellow polka dot the book weenie for the summertime. Teeny weenie. I don't know whatever season this is, but just a teeny weenie. I guess during baby season. Jeans and weenie, which I think is summertime, right? That's a little bit of a patriotic dachshund happening there. Hello weenies. Yes. Is it Halloween? Do I really want to stitch this right now? Most definitely. Every ounce of me wants to start this too. But I'm going to refrain, because I have plans for this. Excuse me while I reach. I'm back. This is turkey sausage for Thanksgiving. Isn't that cute? It's so funny. And then, last but not least, Weiner Wonderland. So I'm super excited for this. So I am waiting. So I'm obviously going to be a serial completionist on this one. So if there's more, if someone knows a more weenie series of the Plum Street Samplers, let me know if I miss one. But I'm pretty sure I got all of them. But these are my plans for it. I ordered some fabric. A huge, like a yard, I think, which I think will cover everything, I'm hoping. And because I did want, even though they are, all the samples are not necessarily stitched on the same color and everything, I did want them to be on the same color. So I did decide that I was going to do this as a series, keep them all together. I'm hoping I'm not going to really need to do any color conversions or anything. I'm planning on using the call for. So my plan is to do these seasonally next year. And so I haven't received the fabric. Some of I can't find all of the floss, so I'm kind of still piecemealing everything together. And but that's the plan. The plan is to do these over the course of the various seasons next year. So obviously work on spring rolls during springtime. Some of these, I'm going to just have to figure out where they fit. I don't know where teeny weenie will come. Maybe that's after New Year's, maybe between New Year's and springtime. Since there's not a New Year's one, so anyway, so I'm going to kind of figure out what the schedule is going to be. How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's 7. So I'll just break it up over the course of the year and just kind of plan it that way. So that's the plan. for the weenie series. Then I also received Ink Circles Get Crackin'. I love it so much. It's in Dutch. I know I found the translation of what the saying is somewhere. I will try to find it. But I just think this is funny. I love Get Crackin'. I think it's just a funny pattern. And I can't wait to work on it. I told my husband, so we have a cruise planned for 2021. We'll see. We'll see if it happens. Who knows? It's COVID. And all the cruises keep getting canceled. Which I think they should be right now. I'm just saying. They should be canceled right now. COVID's not under control. But hopefully by next summer, when we're planning, we've been planning this cruise for a while, so this wasn't a, so let's hope that we get to go. But we're not going to go if it's not safe. I mean, But I told him that I was going to work on this on our cruise. And he was kind of like, me, He did not. I thought it was funny. He did not. Anyways, I'm excited about Get Crackin'. So that's that. And last but not least, I did order the Tree of Magic from Barbara Anna. And so you have to get this. It's a kit from Nika in Russia. And so there's not a picture of the full thing, but this is it. I'm so excited. I think y'all figured this out about me. I like some quirky stuff. And so Barbara Anna got some quirky stuff. And it's not an unboxing. You've already seen it, but the kit includes everything, right? So there's that's the little bit of a picture. It does include so it's all on DMC. I love how they braid, I'm not the first one to have gotten this. I was on the wait list, and so I finally got it. I love how they braided everything to keep it from getting tangled, but it's so pretty. I'm just like, oh, I just want to keep it in such. And then, of course, there is the Lennon, which looks like it's a 32 count. Maybe a 36 count. She gives you a couple of needles with it, and be really careful because this is the pattern that's coming out, so I want to be sure I don't accidentally flash anything. I don't have a picture in here what it will look like when it's done. So I think we're all just going to have to use our imagination because this is it. This is the extent of what it will look like. Although I think if you go to Nika's Instagram page, I'll link it below, you can see the final product. It came from Moscow pretty quick. So if anyone's still interested in it, I don't know if she still has any available. With the conversion, it ended up being about $42 American. And so, which I felt like was not too bad. And that included the shipping. So, I think it might have been 42 then the shipping, but I'm pretty sure it was around 42 was total. And of course it came in pretty great. And what I love about this, what's really funny, fun fact about Jessie, I have a master's in East European and Russian studies. I studied Russian as an undergrad, and obviously I have a master's degree. And that was in 2002 when I graduated with that degree. I will probably say the last time I spoke Russian in any real form was probably 2003. So, I had all these grand visions. You do when you're young. You're like, these are my plans of my life. I'm going to go do this. That didn't happen. So, I don't regret anything. I'm really happy with where I am. But I had these intentions where I was going to use my Russian knowledge, and I don't know, depending on your views on politics, it might come in useful. But I digress. We're not going to do that. But the instructions are in Russian. I love it. I mean, obviously, I understand cross-stitching, right? It's a universal language of cross-stitch, and I'm going to be really careful, And then, like she has the... I mean, you can tell. Like, you can see what the symbols are. You can see what the numbers are, even though it's in Russian. And, but I'm actually super kind of excited about it because I'm going to probably be like, ooh, let me translate the Russian. Although I don't know why I would need to because, again, it is, it's cross-stitching. But it's, You know what's really funny about the instructions, I will say while I'm looking at them, is that like right all the bottom here is the instructions in Russian, and then it's like in English too. So, um, hopefully, yeah. So, anyways, I might actually have some fun and try to translate it just to have a see if I can learn how to read Russian and cross stitching. It is kind of funny because I do follow a handful of Russian cross stitchers on Instagram, and so when it shows up in Russian, it's actually pretty cool. I'm excited about this. I have no idea when I'm going to start working on it. I just knew that as soon as I saw it, I had to have it because I find it to be this really cutesy kind of thing. That's it. That's it on my haul. What's next? Plants. I think we already talked about plants. I'm going to just probably work on Emily's house and pumpkin leaves. And that's it. I'll see you in a couple of weeks, and hopefully, all being well, we do have a football game that Sunday, so it may be another Monday recording, depending on what time we get back. And that's it. I hope everyone is doing well and taking care of yourselves. We saw a lot of people violating mask rules at the game, so be safe, wear your mask. I get it. I had to wear a mask for 5 hours at a football game. It's not the best. I get it. It's not comfortable. It's warm. Carry around breath mints, brush your teeth, put on a mask, be good for other people. And and in the meantime, between now and then, I hope you're having a stitching good time. Take care, everyone. Bye.